On the #1 MMORPG in Minecraft, there are too many activities to count, in my opinion being the most popular money-making method and skill, dungeons, specifically the catacombs.
I agree, let's see where the catacombs started.
It all started after the End and Slayer updates. All was good, updates were frequent and the admins had high hopes for Skyblock, but they made a mistake that would spark talk of admins' failures and lies, the dungeon announcement. They said a new update similar to a lot of dungeon run games was to be released soon. That was a fatal mistake that would cause the first content drought of Skyblock. For 10 or so months YouTubers such as 30virus, FizzFez, Akeensoft and more would complain about a lack of updates that would eventually cause Akin's quitting of Skyblock, which I shall get into in another video, but Skyblock was dying and the admins were working tirelessly to get updates out, even if they didn't perform well. One of these was the PES update where Dungeons was leaked again for the second time with coming soon items and once again in the Reforged revamp, when the supposed dungeon hub was located with Mordophilia and Malik the blacksmith. Little did they know it would be another 2 months until regular players would see the dungeon update. May 18th, the Dungeon Catacombs Alpha server comes out, a complete different server, but sadly for the admins, the same bazaar, causing billions to be traded from the Alpha network to the actual Hypixel server, trading billions of not legit cash into Skyblock for mere pennies and real Skyblock, but that's a different topic. Anyway, I digress. The Alpha server came out, giving a semi-realistic replica of dungeons to be played by any and all MVP++ and above, such as Rank, Helper, Mod and even Mr. Simon Hypixel himself. This would give few flaws and similarities to current-day catacombs but still gave the public something to want and the YouTubers something to make videos on. A win-win, right? June 7th, the catacombs would finally be released, allowing all ranks to play catacombs finally, or not? For 6 hours, a downtime was set in motion. The sad news was finally realized, only MVP+ and above could play dungeons. This was sad for people to see after waiting almost a year, but later that day, nons were allowed into Skyblock and the dungeons were truly released now. In the beginning there was only floor 1, a good start and showing the difficulty and skill needed for dungeons, secrets, boss rooms, trap rooms and more were thrust into everyone's faces, showing that this would be hard, and yet it left people wanting more. Floor 2 would come out not that long after, adding Scarf, the most useless floor of dungeons this was, and soon after that Floor 3 came out, the most hyped floor at the time of its release, adding Adaptive Armor, so good in dungeons early floors, that it was a must-have, costing millions at the time of release and only a few mil now. Soon enough Floor 4 came out, the most playable and profitable floor for mid-game players, and boasting the most impressive Bone Marong, an amazing archer weapon. Too sad it won't come back. What do you mean it's used more in Floor 7 than the Hyperion now? Speaking of Floor 7, it is amazing, but first we must talk about Floor 5, which had the still popular Livid Dagger, one of the most affordable and best melee weapons in Skyblock history with its amazing 100% attack damage and crit chance features, making it so useful for poor players who can't afford a lot of talismans for those stats. And soon Floor 6 came out, and with that the Flower of Truth, one of the best, if not the best floor clearing weapon for under 10 meters still is and always will be amazing. And finally, Floor 7, the Necron floor. Holding the Necron's handle, Skyblock's most desired dungeons drop and biggest dungeon meme. Costing 35 million coins from the Obsidian or Bedrock chest, or if you have bad RNG,
300 million coins on the What?
Well then, if you've seen my Hyperion at Kato 5 video, what do you mean you haven't? Pause the video and go watch it. Oh, you're back. Okay, back to what I was saying. Yes, the Hyperion. The best mage weapon in the game, clowning on Midas Spoon and Spirit Scepter, it really is the best, a must-have for being a dungeon sweat, that and Storm Armor / a Necron Armor, made from wither boners compressed into some Yeezys, thick thighs, a Supreme shirt and a balding firehead, and 8 of one of the floor 7 giant fragments, like Diamantes handles or LASRIs. But back to what I was saying about bone meringues, they are the best dungeons over the end.